Welcome, Husker Nation, to Black Shirt Monday. And I really feel this past Saturday's defensive performance was a tale of the first 2.5 quarters versus the last quarter and a half. Much like I said in yesterday's video when I broke down the offensive performance. But Illinois was a little bit frisky after their bye week, and they were doing some things differently than they'd done earlier in the season. They were running the ball a lot more out of their two-back sets than they had prior, and they were having some success against the Black Shirts with that. Now, after a while, it wasn't a big secret what they were going to do when they lined up in those formations, because they would run the ball over 80% of the time in those sets. Now, it wasn't like they were just running all over the field on us. We gave up 124 yards rushing to them, which isn't great, but it's not bad. It's kind of middle of the road. We did give up 5.9 yards per carry to this team, and this is a team, keep in mind, that when they played Western Michigan in their last game, had 3 total yards rushing in that game. This is the third game where I've had some concerns about our rush defense in a row, but it's not like I said, teams are steamrolling us. It's just what I would call, and what I've heard other people refer to it as leaky yardage, which is, I think, due to some poor tackling at times, due to Illinois controlling the line of scrimmage the first 2.5 quarters of the game. But it is hard to complain when the most amount of points the Black Shirts are giving up this year outside the Oregon game is 17 points in a game. And they did hold Illinois to 2 of 9 on third down, which is pretty good. Now, when they had to buckle down, the Black Shirts, halfway through the third quarter, they forced Illinois to 2 straight 3-and-outs, which allowed the Nebraska offense to go on those 2 long touchdown drives. In the last quarter and a half, the Black Shirts clearly stepped up. It's not that I feel the Black Shirts are playing poorly, I just feel they can be more consistent. If you look at what they're doing versus who they're doing it against, again, Illinois giving up 124 yards rushing is kind of middle of the road, not good, not bad. But when you consider Illinois had a total of 3 yards rushing in their last game, it puts things in perspective a little bit. Just more consistency is all I think the Black Shirts need going forward. Now, I did see some people blaming the early game struggles on the distractions off the field that the Huskers had last week, but I would be careful in putting all the blame on those distractions, simply because that's hard to prove one way or the other. I was curious, don't want to make a big deal out of it, but what Mike Riley would do during the anthem, and what he did is he just kept the team in the locker room, which is a perfect compromise. You're not keeping the players from doing what they want to do when you're out on the field, yet you're avoiding these unnecessary distractions. And it was great to see Michael Rose-Ivy being cheered when he was introduced and given the thumbs up as he was jogging off the field. Now, as far as tomorrow, my weekly update on Huskers in the NFL, unfortunately Randy Gregory just failed another drug test and his suspension has been extended quite a bit. So I'll be updating you on Randy Gregory tomorrow, so tune in for that. So until then, go Big Red, and always remember to throw the bone.